rejoices because the corn is found. But when the son is found, the father and his servants and all of his household is rejoicing, but this one boy is angry. Which brings me to point two. Point one, the key is at the door. But point number two, you have to look for the irony. You got to look for the irony. What's the flip? What's the twist? Where's it at? What's the thing that's standing out? Many of you, when I was young, and many of you may be old enough to remember, they have watched Sesame Street, and I don't know whether they still do this, but they used to have a thing that they would little jingle that they would say, these three things belong together. Y'all remember that? They would have three situations, and one was different, and they would sing this little song, these three things belong together. These three things are kind of the same, but one of these things just doesn't belong here. Now it's time to play our game. And you would have to point out the one that was unlike the other three. Well, that's what Jesus is doing right here in telling these three stories in one parable. He's saying two of these things belong together. But what's wrong with this third thing? He's asking the question, what's wrong with this son? You have to look for the irony. You have to look for the twist. Am I making sense? Let me see, can I demonstrate this another way? He tells another story about the mustard seed. And he says that the mustard seed is the smallest seed in the garden. You got to understand that he's talking about in the garden. But yet, he says, when it grows to be the largest plant or tree in the garden. Isn't that ironic? That the smallest becomes the largest. Am I making any sense? You have to look, you have to look for the irony. You remember the Good Samaritan, don't you? It was interesting that a priest came. He was a Jew. Certainly he's a good man among Jews. And then a Levite came. Certainly he's a good man among Jews. But neither one of them stopped to be neighborly. Am I making sense?